We went out west to Nevada and we met the helicopters. And we turned a corner and we saw these things and everyone's kind of laughing. And I remember someone said to me, "Why are you laughing now?" And I go, "Well, there's a better chance we're going to live because I didn't know we were going to war on Transformers, these helicopters that they got." So we trained on them for a while. And then
what were they?
Stealth. Helicopters that no man invented. Like these things, like I can't even describe them. They're just awesome. And we were training with them with.
What makes them different from a convention?
I don't know. It's got to be the angles of the outside, the structure, and the paint. Had
you ever seen one?
No one had. The president didn't know about them.
The president didn't know about them?
When they were talking about what are they going to do, are we going to bomb the place? And the Air Force said that to bomb it, we got to put 22 JDAMs on that house, 2,000-pound bombs. Like, you'll never know he was there. And then I guess the chief of staff of the Air Force said there's one more option. And he told them about the helicopters, and that's when we went out to train with them.
So the president didn't know that his own military had these.
Yeah. And he was cool too. There was no partisan politics on this mission. This is the right thing to do. When we first presented a plan, 2 helicopters, 32 minutes, and then fly out, you might run out of fuel, so we're going to run over the Hindu Kush. Like, we got to get back to Afghanistan. If we get compromised, it's going to be because of the local police. It's like if someone invaded near West Point, it wouldn't be cadets going after them.
No,
it would be the cops.
The sheriff, yeah.
And then now we're in a weird spot because I don't want to kill cops. I don't want to kill Pakistani police. They're just doing their job. We're here without their invitation. So what we said is we'll hard point it, and then you need to send someone to Islamabad and negotiate our release or whatever, because we're not going to surrender or whatever. But that was our plan. And I guess Barack Obama, again, looked at the chief of staff of the Air Force and said, "What do you need to rain hell in Pakistan? My guys are not surrendering to anybody."
Good for him.
Which is some South Chicago politics right there. It was awesome. So we got a guerrilla package. We got more helicopters, more stuff juiced up. And I don't even know what we had overhead. But I mean, when we finished and they launched F-16s, I know we had something up there that convinced them to turn around.
But these helicopters, was anyone aware that these existed?
No one knew about them. I mean, these are helicopters.
So the U.S. military can just like have, it takes a lot to build a helicopter. Yeah. That's very weird,
I mean,
don't you think?
And I can't get too much into it because...
No, right, to the extent you can.
They're like, you're not even allowed to talk about what you think you saw here. Like, there's some serious shit going on.
When you say they were out in Nevada, where in Nevada?
Well, I can't say that either.
Yeah, but I think we know.
Yeah, we probably know.
Yeah.
Near Vegas. Right. That's where we stayed.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it gave me faith in what we can do if we need to.
I just find it I never thought I'd be focused on the helicopter.
No.
Like, who cares? But
well, and it was...
but that's the weirdest thing I've heard in a long time.
Yeah. And then you got to figure the pilots had never heard of them. And so they got to practice for 5 days, and then they're flying us into Pakistan. Those are the heroes, the pilots.
How do you get a machine like that from Vegas to Jalalabad?
I think they probably put it in a C-17, flew them over. And then when they put them together, they're in the middle of an airfield with, they're covered during the daytime, and then there's bright lights shining out so no one can see them. They would put these things in the hangar so like Chinese satellites couldn't see them. But they're pretty serious. What's
it like to ride on one?
It was comfortable. It was quiet, and it was just cool. There was more room in that. They look kind of like 60s.
Because there's no engine, right? It's just all anti-gravity.
There's something up there. Yeah, they're flying by magnets.
Yeah.
But no, they were cool, and it was comforting because, I mean, once you take off and cross the border, they tell you that you're in Pakistan. It's like, okay, now we're going to find out if this works. And then again, the mindset comes in like, worrying about a missile is not going to stop it, so I'm not going to worry about it. You know, if like you're worried about anything in life that your worry doesn't affect, why are you wasting your energy?
Yeah.
So what I do, and I learned as a sniper, was count. So I would count from 0 to 1,000, 1,000 to 0. And I would just get that in my head, you know, counting, changing the cadence up, just counting, you know, looking at the watch. We got 90 minutes to get in there. Then we banked to the south, 10 minutes out. And it sounds Hollywood, but I was counting still. And I don't know how I remembered the quote, but I said 556, 557, freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended. And it kind of sunk in 10 minutes from Bin Laden's house, like, holy shit, this is the mission. This is the team, and we're going to kill him. Holy shit. And then like the air crew guy who never gets credit, he reached over and opened the door 2 minutes out. Like the crew chief's job was to keep the helicopter flying and open the door. That's it. But how important is that? What if we couldn't have figured out the door? Like just sitting in a helicopter can't get out. And if we got hit with a missile, he's got a family too, and they'll miss him. But no one ever mentions him. He's a hero. He opened the door. He was the first step of us getting into Bin Laden's house.
Who are the pilots? Not by name, but
no,
who do you get to fly a machine like that?
They are Task Force 160 at the Night Stalkers.
Talented?
They're the best in the world. The Army helicopter pilots are the best helicopter pilots in the world. And we got the best 4. And we're lucky we did, because the flight lead saved everyone's life on the first helicopter by crash landing it in the front yard.
Here's a fact of life you may not learn until you're older, but I'm going to tell you now. It's very hard to have a good time if you're wearing bad boots. In fact, it may be impossible, and that's why you need Tecovas. As a matter of fact, you don't just need them, you owe them to yourself. Tecovas makes Western boots for everybody, ranchers, real ranchers, lifelong cowboys, first-time boot buyers, and anyone in between. Every Tecovas boot is handcrafted, made by hand, with over 200 meticulous steps for a broken-in feel right out of the box. You don't have to compromise between looks and quality. You can have them both. Whether it's a long day or a big night, Tecovas are built to last and impressed. You wouldn't believe the compliments people here get when they wear them out, which they do. Right now, get 10% off at tecovas.com/Tucker when you sign up for email and text alerts. That's 10% off at Tecova, TECOVAS.com/Tucker.
How do you crash land a helicopter like that without killing
he told me, I'm not a pilot, but he told me when they were coming into fast rope, which is when you hover 30 feet, 20 feet, whatever, ropes come out, snipers are watching, guys just slide down. They're going to separate to where they're going. And we're going to drop some guys off and Cairo outside, and then my team's going to the rooftop. We're going to hit them that way. But as soon as he started to hover, he realized he couldn't hover. Like, there was an updraft. Some with the fences were different than the ones we were training on. And it was a little bit warmer than we were used to. So they're not going to get that much lift.
Oh.
And he said an inexperienced pilot would have powered it up and rolled it and everyone would have died. But he realized in the blink of an eye, if he can turn it and put the tail on the 15-foot fence and pin the nose, everyone might live. And he made that decision quicker than I just explained it, and he just smacked it into the ground. And then our pilot was bringing us to the rooftop.
Was anyone injured in that?
Yeah, but not like at the time. Like they have bad backs now, like their spine stuff. But nobody got hurt right then. And plus the adrenaline was pumping. I'd imagine just getting dropped off in a crashed helicopter in the front yard of the #1 terrorist in the world. And you don't know what the resistance is going to be. And so our guy lifted up, but he saw them and then put us down. And he knew they couldn't hover. He probably couldn't hover, but we didn't know they crashed. So he kicked us out. So now we're outside of bin Laden's house looking at a 20-foot wall on this end. I can see his house. And I remember just thinking, I guess we start the war from here. We know what we're doing. There's a door right over there. Let's go blow that one up. So we went to the northeast corner where there's a double door. And I called a breacher up. A breacher is the methods of entry guy. He's going to get you in. He'll pick that lock. He'll break that glass. He'll blow that door. So he decided to put a 7-foot charge of C6 on the double door, which will open anything. And he blasted it. And we tried to go in, and it opened like a tin can, but there was a brick wall behind it. And
why was there a brick wall behind it?
Fake door. He just made a fake door.
Oh,
and the breacher turned around. He goes, "Fake door. This is failed breach. This is bad." And I said, "No, this is good. That's a fake door. Nobody does that. He's in there." So now we know this door opens over here. It's a carport. So we got to go past his house to this double door that we knew open because we'd seen it open. And the other, we heard them saying -1 going around. -1 going around because we assumed they took fire and they're doing a racetrack and they're going to re-engage. But they were saying -1 going down. So we didn't know they crashed. And we said, "Hey, this is so-and-so. We're going to blast the carport." And they said, No, don't blast it. We'll open it. And before that could even register, the double doors opened and a thumb came out with a glove that we recognized. And it's like, okay, it doesn't matter. I don't know why they're in there, but it doesn't matter. They just are. They're in there. And that's a point in life. Like sometimes it doesn't matter why.
That's exactly right.
It just is, and the clock's ticking. I told you yesterday about the football team when I talked to the offense, like it doesn't matter why it's 2nd and 15, it just is. And you can complain about it, but the clock's ticking. We got to make a move. So then there was already, and this is a weird thing about rules of engagement too. One of my guys was outside of the house and he'd shot through the window at, I think, a Brar, one of the couriers, and his wife jumped in front of him. So he shot her too. And he looked at me. This is how fucked up the rules of engagement are. He goes, and this is a SEAL Team 6 guy. He goes, she just jumped in front of him. I just shot her. Am I going to be in trouble? And I go, dude, who cares? Let's go find bin Laden, then we'll worry about rules of engagement. But why is that in your mind right now? Because your leadership is so poor that you're thinking about going to jail right now. So then we got inside the house. These are all guys from the other helicopter. They're going down a long hallway, and I hopped into a room because, like, if I hope you're never in this position, but if you're in a gunfight in a house, get out of the hallway. That's just good business. So I'm in this thing and I'm looking for bombs because he's going to blow this house up. He's got to be a martyr. And one of the guys behind me just said, helicopter crashed. And I said, because we had extra helicopters. So I thought they were 45 minutes behind us. They weren't stealth. So I thought we just lost 2 helicopters full of my friends. And I'm like, my God, what helicopter crashed? He goes, bro, our helicopter crashed in the front yard. I think you walked right past it.
You didn't even notice it?
No, I didn't even notice it. But now it makes sense. Okay, now that's why they're in here. And then even the sniper who was with Cairo running around, he saw the tail on the fence. So he's running around and the tail was right there. And his response, he came over the radio and said, all right, guys, be on alert. They're ready for us. They have a training mock-up of our super secret helicopter in the front yard. And then there was silence.
He thought it was bin Laden.
Training on it, yeah. And the boss came over and goes, no, jackass, that's ours because we crashed. And he goes, that makes a lot more sense than the shit I was just saying. So these are the conversations. And it's crazy to think that guys still have their sense of humor. But then I'm behind my guys and I'm watching them. And it was just so cool. I'm just so proud of them. Like we could die at any second and it's not even phasing you guys. You're just doing your job. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. We hope you'll subscribe to it. And by the way, you can hit the little bell on there and get notifications every time we produce a video. We hope you'll do that also.